Hello everyone, Ryan here. So yesterday, on Christmas Day, finally got to see Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and it's awesome. It rocks. Honestly, it sums up this trilogy so well, so nicely, evenly. I think so. And I'm gonna keep this review spoiler free as possible. Only because there's a lot of moments in it that, at least for me, and I believe for any diehard Star Wars fan or just any Star Wars fan in general, there's a lot of moments that really got to me, and I believe will get to anyone, unless if you're not into Star Wars, then you're not gonna really care too much about it. Really. Not only that, but it's first off, why the hell are you going to watch Star Wars if you're not even into Star Wars to begin with? I don't know. That's a whole other discussion, but so obviously this one, it picks up where the last one left off. Pretty much, but not entirely, I would say. Because the last one, like The Last Jedi, of course I liked The Last Jedi. I liked that The Last Jedi, it strayed away somewhat from the typical kind of Star Wars story. And, but I mean, having said that, I would say, to see this, before you see this, you really don't have to watch The Last Jedi. Maybe if you want to. I don't know. It's I'm still reeling from everything that happened in The Rise of Skywalker. Of course, I will say yes, the Emperor Palpatine, he does return in this. That's not a spoiler because it was kind of revealed in the trailer. I mean, they had his voice in the trailer, and they showed his throne or whatever in the trailer, and so Emperor Palpatine returns, and it turns out that he had been kept alive for many years secretly, I guess, via special super top secret Sith experiments or something like that, something along those lines, and. And then of course he reveals Rey's identity, her true identity, and of course I'm not gonna spoil it in this review, but when it was revealed who she really is, or what her lineage is, it totally made sense to me. Then I just started to think back on certain moments in The Last Jedi, and then also in The Force Awakens. And I was like, wow. That's... And honestly, I can't believe I wasn't expecting it either. It was... I think a lot of other Star Wars fans weren't expecting it either. And not only that, I'm amazed that they were able to, those who saw an early screening of it, I'm surprised they didn't spoil anything. But yeah, for me it was surprising, but ultimately, I mean, not too shocking, but because when I thought about it, it made sense. And of course, Kylo Ren is in this one too, and him and Rey, they battle it out, duke it out, or whatever. I think they have I want to say 3 lightsaber battles total, or technically 2.5. I say 3 at the most. I couldn't really keep track. And something happens to Kylo Ren too. In this one, of course, I'm not gonna say, but that Kylo Ren's fate, I will say, also makes sense, at least to me, and I believe to a lot of other Star Wars fans. And I will say, like, it's kind of weird because, like, the first 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, I liked it because it just seemed to, it's like they didn't bother with too much talking portions. I mean, they managed to move the story along pretty quickly. They didn't, bother with any filler type stuff, side adventures, or I mean, like in The Last Jedi, there was, I believe, at least a couple side adventures, and but in this one, yeah, no, it's just. Also, too, this one I like that it seems to be more character driven than story driven. Even though the story is there, obviously, and it's just as awesome as ever. Also, too, I found that the story to be a little more a little more well written in this one than in The Last Jedi. Even though I'm saying I thoroughly liked The Last Jedi. But yeah, this one, I mean, essentially, all I is, because there, again, honestly, there were so many moments, like, when I thought something happened and it turned out that it didn't, and, like, honestly, I didn't think, I mean, I'm gonna say, I'm not ashamed to admit that, like, I came very close to being in tears, like, and it was just, ultimately, the Rise of Skywalker made me feel so many feels, it made me feel, it's an emotional roller coaster, really. Yeah. I think this Rise of Skywalker, like, made me feel so many different emotions all at once, more so than any other Star Wars movie. I guess because in the other Star Wars movies, even in the original trilogy, like, when I first watched it as a kid, before I knew anything about it, I still kind of knew what to expect because my older cousins told me a little bit about it, and there was all these other, like, TV shows that did parodies of it, and there are movies that were like parodies of Star Wars, and then of course the prequels. Well, nobody cared about the prequels, or I mean, I like the prequels. It's just, I they were all right. But I mean, come on, because we knew with the prequel trilogy, we knew what was going to happen after that, so it really wasn't surprising. So with this trilogy, I remember when I saw The Force Awakens, I kind of knew what to expect. Essentially, what they did was they introduced a new trilogy, but not only that, they introduced a new trilogy, and also they reintroduced the Star Wars universe to the public, but especially to younger generation. So, which I definitely like that. I like The Force Awakens. And of course, I ultimately knew what to expect. And now, of course, then with The Last Jedi, because there was a change in directors, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, besides the usual Star Wars stuff, but the way the director chose to take the story, and I liked it because it was different. And I know a lot of people complained about it, but the same people, the same critics that complained about the other Star Wars movies, and I'm pretty sure who are probably related to to the same critics that trash talk to the original trilogy. So, I mean, even with this one, with the Rise of Skywalker, I've come across so many bad reviews of it, and it just makes me. I mean, all I can say to those bad reviews is, again, if you don't like Star Wars, don't watch Star Wars. If you know you're gonna hate it, if you know there's a possibility you're just gonna walk out on it or fall asleep or whatever, don't. I'm doing you a favor by telling you, don't go spend your money on something that you don't like. I don't know, unless there's an ulterior motive you have for going to see Star Wars. I don't know, but otherwise, if you like Star Wars, if you like sci-fi, you will like this movie, The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, it's just, for me, I believe it has a lot of what fans want. Yeah, that's what I say, especially the second half. I mean, I'll give it to like some of the bad reviews of it, some people who criticize the first half of the movie. I will kind of agree with them, in regards to the fact that, yeah, it just it moves along very quickly. And I can see how people who haven't been following this trilogy, they can kind of get confused and whatnot. But the second half is just awesome all the way. Especially leading up to the end. Yes, there is a showdown between someone, and of course Emperor Palpatine. Again, that's not a spoiler. It's just, I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know. I got nothing bad to say about it. But then, of course, my review is obviously biased because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I have been since I was a little kid. So, yeah. Don't know what else to see. Don't know what else to say. I mean, I might have to go see it again. It's just, yeah, again, a lot of stuff in it that just made me feel all the feels. And so as far as the rating goes, overall, I'm going to say bare minimum 9.5, 9.5, 9.5. However, I would just easily round up to 10. So, yeah. Why not? 10 out of 10. Yeah. That's how I feel about it. So, obviously, if you have a different opinion about it, if you hated it, if you saw it, you hated it, hey, that's your opinion. We're all entitled to our own opinions. So, yeah. That's it. I'll do it for my review of The Rise of Skywalker. Once again, I give it 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching as always. Till next time, free to keep it real, keep on rocking. And peace.